What's up, you guys? It's Hayden, and today I'm going to be talking about male privilege. I have a pretty unique perspective on male privilege, considering the fact that I was socially raised female in society, and it wasn't up until the past, 2 years that I have been out as trans, and so I have been living socially as male because that matches my gender identity. It's who I am. So it's just really interesting to compare situations pre-T versus situations in my interactions with the world as a man being on testosterone for 2 years. I honestly didn't know how to start this video, so I reached out to some friends and gathered some questions that they had, and so I'm just going to intertwine the questions within the video. But I'll start with the first one, and it is, what kind of privileges do you now feel that you weren't expecting? Male privilege was one thing that I did not really prep myself for. I didn't really know what I was getting into. It's kind of funny because when you're taking hormones, at least for me, I wasn't really thinking about all of that kind of stuff. I was thinking about all the changes that I was so excited to see. At the end of the week, that was like the one thing I really looked forward to was, am I getting any more facial hair? Or, is my fat redistributing around my body? And stuff like that. There's all of these really exciting changes that happen. So I had like this mindset that was focused on that. And am I ever gonna be seen as male in society? Will people stop calling me she at one point? And it obviously happened, but with that said, I started to gain male privilege with all of the changes that were happening. The first time I realized that I had male privilege, I was going to a conference, and I was going to this conference with a cis woman. And this woman, I knew her, and I was like kind of friends with her. So I was really anxious about going because I didn't want to room with someone who I didn't know. Especially being trans, I didn't want to be outed. So I was thinking, this is great. I know this person, I can room with them, and it'll be fine. It'll kind of soothe some anxiety in me. But then somebody had said we should make sure that she feels comfortable rooming with a man. And it clicked in my head, like, yeah, that's male privilege right there. That's the kind of stuff that I have to be aware of, and I have to know about my male privilege, because there are women out there who have had traumatic experiences with men, and so I have to think cautiously about stuff like that. And that's kind of something that was really hard to grasp, because most of my life people saw me as female. So it was kind of sad, honestly. It was that slap in the face realization that this is male privilege. Another privilege that I had gained was people see me as a straight male in society. So it's really interesting to be seen as a cis straight male when the reality is like, some of it's true, but not really. And I think if you only knew, Before Brianna and I, we were seen as a lesbian couple. And we were kind of like not a target, but we stood out, So now it's really different. We just kind of blend in with culture in society. And we don't have to worry about any sort of prejudice based on sexual orientation or a relationship and stuff like that. So that's been really an interesting switch and kind of hard to let go of, because I know we're still in a queer relationship. We are very queer, but people don't see that. And that's, I don't know, it's weird. It's really weird. So somebody was asking about work and if interactions have changed with that, and honestly, I don't think that has changed a whole lot. They have been supportive and on board with my transition from day one. But it is interesting to think about my interactions with people pre-T versus now. I'm not saying like interactions with coworkers by any means. I'm saying more of the lines of like strangers, like people I don't really know. and they don't know me and they don't know my story. But it's just interesting to compare interactions pre-T versus now, because pre-T, not only was I seen female, people were seeing me as like the queer one, the weird one. You know, I had different color hair and the same piercings that I have. But I was very ambiguous with my gender, and I think anyone who is more gender neutral or ambiguous can kind of relate to that. You do get stares, and people can treat you not so kindly. So I had like a different view on it. But some of the interactions that I had pre-T with men who I didn't know, it was very invasive and very creepy and just kind of disgusting. And it's interesting now because, well, I don't get hit on by men, you know, I don't get really undermined by men. Men don't walk over me. And it kind of can make me feel uncomfortable. You know, I'm so happy that I'm seen as a male and people are recognizing and acknowledging my gender. But it's just very uncomfortable when you have experienced both sides of it. It just doesn't feel right, and it just doesn't feel fair. These types of privileges that I now have, it just doesn't settle well. You know, I've experienced catcalling before pre-T as well. I experienced it once, like a few months ago, and it was a group of ladies that were probably my age, and I thought it was a friend, so I went to go wave, and I realized I don't know them. But you know, I didn't feel unsafe. I didn't feel threatened by them whatsoever, and that's the big difference, you know, that's the huge difference. Before, I would feel more threatened, you know, and really like annoyed and just like gross, you know, I hated it. And in this situation, it didn't bother me at all. I felt totally fine, and it was funny. I think the biggest thing to take from this video is to be aware of your privilege. If you have male privilege, be aware of it. Educate yourself, learn more about feminism, learn more about women's rights, learn more about male privilege. That's like the biggest thing that I can say. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will get a video out soon. I have a really fun idea, so hopefully this video will be out soon. But until then, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful few days ahead. Please feel free to share this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you have any ideas or suggestions for videos, I'm all ears. I'm open to hearing those. I want to know what you folks want to hear. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, you guys. Alright, bye.